Welcome to Phoenix Solutions4all online video tutorial on pivot tables. So we'll look at how to add a calculated field, charts, and also adding slices to filter our pivot tables. So let's begin looking at how to add a calculated field. So I need to add a new column with the result of a calculation, which will be markup, selling price minus dealer price. So click on the Analyze tab of your pivot table tools, and then in the Calculations group, choose Fields, Items and Sets, and choose Calculated Field. Name the field, so I'm going to type markup. I'm going to over-type what's in the formula, so I'm just going to choose the fields from the list of fields below. So double-click selling price, minus, double-click dealer price. Click OK. There's my new calculated column. And also over in my field list, it's added it as a new column. If I want to remove that field or delete it, go back to my fields, items and sets, calculated fields, choose the item from the list, and then I can either delete it, make my changes, and then click OK. So at the moment in my pivot table I have year as my filter, which contains at the top here 2003, 2004. What I would want to happen now is I need a separate sheet with a separate pivot table for each of the values in my year filter. So I want a separate sheet 2003 and 2004 showing the information in my current pivot table. So it's the Analyze tab of your pivot table tools, pivot table group, click on the arrow next to options and choose Show Report Filter Pages. To show all report filter pages of year. So when I click OK, it will generate a separate sheet for 2003 and 2004 with all the data in the original pivot. We're now going to look at creating a chart for each of the three pivot tables, and then we're going to introduce slicers, which are a fantastic way of effectively filtering a pivot table. So first thing, click to my first pivot table, go to my Analyze tab, and then in the Tools group, click on Pivot Chart, and I'll just create the standard column chart. So I'm just going to move that so it's hiding the pivot table. I'm going to click into my second pivot table, create a second chart again. So Analyze, Pivot Chart, and maybe for this one, again, I'll just do a column as well. So there we go. I'll just move that again and just resize it slightly. Good, so there's two charts. Third pivot table, click in there. Again, go to my Analyze tab and then Pivot Chart. And I'm just going to do a pie chart for this one. So a 3D pie chart, and then click OK again. So they're my three charts, yeah, for my three pivot tables. Now, we're going to now introduce some slices to effectively filter our pivot data. So again, Analyze tab of your pivot options, and I'm going to choose Insert Slicer. Now at the moment, when I choose the fields that I want to add as my slicer boxes, they're only going to affect the active pivot chart, which is the pie chart at the moment. So I'm going to choose year and color to begin with. And then I'm just going to move the two boxes a little bit further below. Now at the moment, these slicers will only be useful for the active chart, which was the pie chart. So what I want it to do, I want each slicer to be connected to the three pivot tables that are underneath the chart. So I'm going to click on the color slicer box, and then up on the ribbon in my slicer styles group, I've got report connections. So in the slicer group, click report connections, and I want to assign it to my three pivot tables, which were 2, 3, and 4. Same with year, click into the year slicer, report connections, and then 2, 3, and 4, then click OK. So now I've got a really effective way of presenting this data to other people by using my slicers. So I might want to see red. Notice how it's all changed in 2003. So all of the charts are changing as I apply different slicer values. To remove the filters, top corner of each box, notice the data reset. So if I just looked at blue sales, all three of them have changed. Okay, thank you for watching this online tutorial, and I hope you gained some benefit from it.